If you're planning to move to Canada in 2026, you're walking in a minefield. The cheat code that everybody used for the past 10-15 years is now dead. For a decade, the strategy was really simple. Come to Canada, pay for a cheap 2-year diploma in anything business, hospitality, general arts. You used to get a 3-year postgraduate work permit, and then you used to figure it out later while driving your new BMW or the Mustang working at minimum wage. But in 2025, the government effectively closed the door on all of it. If you follow the old advice today, you might as well just end up paying upwards of $40,000 for a souvenir diploma that gets you sent back home as soon as you're done. Today, I'm not giving you generic advice, I'm going to give you the actual calculations based on real data and experiences of recent graduates. We are going to do the audit of the entire Project Canada investment for 2026. We'll start with first explaining the field of study laws that restrict who gets a visa and later a PR. Then we're going to deep dive into understanding the brutal math behind tuition versus income, whether when you study from a college to get a diploma or you do a degree from a university. And then finally, I'm going to give you the entire decision metric to make it very simple for you in the end and tell you exactly who should come to Canada in 2026 and who should stay home to save their finances. Let's start with policy risk. The government has effectively split international students into two classes. Class A is college. If you graduate from a college program in 2026, you're now restricted. You only get a PGWP if your field of study is on the long-term shortage list given by the government. That means courses like agriculture, healthcare, some of the STEM courses, mostly all trades to name a few, and that's it. If you come here and study courses like global business management or HR and marketing at a local college, you will definitely graduate with a lot of debt and no work permit. Class B is university, master's or PhD. This is the loophole that almost nobody's talking about. Master's degree graduates are exempt from all the above restrictions and you can study whatever you want: history, business, philosophy, science, you name it. With master's degree, even if you study for a single year, you get a 3-year PGWP guaranteed. Also, additional bonus you get if you have a spouse, you can bring them to Canada as well if you graduate from a master's program. The message from government is loud and clear. They want only high level talent, or they want people with extremely hard skills to cover up for the labor shortage in 2026. The middle ground that was everybody's favorite in Canada no longer exists in 2026. Now stop. Before you think I'm telling everybody to just get a master's, there's a specific scenario where college is a much smarter financial move. If you come here to study a hard skill and cover for the labor shortage that is there in Canada, the ROI is insane. I'm talking about trades, things like plumbing, electrician, construction worker, or healthcare. Why? There are two main reasons, and the first one being especially the cost. College diploma costs roughly around 15 to 20,000 and is a much cheaper option than any university degree. And the second reason is demand. Canada has a shortage of people in this field. I have seen people, graduates right out of college, making a lot more money in skilled trades as compared to a master's graduate in their first year. So if you're willing to get your hands dirty, opt for a college diploma without a doubt. But if you want a corporate career, you want to stick for the next part where we break down the calculations and show you that why doing a master's makes the most amount of sense. Most people think a master's is too expensive. But let's look at the data. The average international student for an undergraduate tuition is paying roughly $41,000 a year. But the same average international student pays only $24,000 Canadian per year for a master's degree. Yes, read that again. A master's degree is 40% cheaper than your undergrad degree in Canada. But tuition is just the easiest part. The killer is the living expense that nobody really thinks about. To survive in a city like Toronto in 2026, you need approximately 2,000 to 2,500 Canadian dollars per month. Rent for a shared bedroom is gonna be $800 to $1,000, groceries $400, transport another $130, and all your miscellaneous cost included $400 in addition to all of that. That's almost a total of $30,000 per year. That's a massive investment. But don't worry, let's look at the math that how long does it take for an average graduate from a master's degree to earn all of it back. This is where the survival trap kills your ROI. Statistics Canada data shows that international students with a college diploma are twice as likely to get stuck in a low paying sales and service job. We're talking about working at Tim Hortons, driving Uber, or working as a security guard. If you graduate with a $50,000 to $60,000 debt and land a $30,000 to $35,000 survival job, you're basically underwater for the next 5 to 7 years. You will be just paying interest on your existence. Now let's compare this scenario to doing masters, and the data shows that master graduates earn 27 to 38% more than the national average. If you land a corporate role, even as an entry-level analyst starting at $75,000, your take home is roughly $4,600 per month after deducting all taxes. You will pay off your entire student debt in the next 2 to 3 years. Masters seems expensive in the first go, but in 2026 makes the most sense based on ROI and your long-term immigration plans. Finally, let's talk about a variable nobody puts into any spreadsheet: your network. Who you sit next to for the next 1 or 2 years will matter more than you realize right now. In a generic diploma mill, you will mostly be surrounded by other 40 students who are equally as confused and scared as you are, fighting for the same part-time minimum wage job that sometimes all you can think about while you're doing a diploma. It consumes all your time. It is all you think about. The next shift, how can you get that shift? But in a master's program, especially in schools like Waterloo, UFT and UBC, you're sitting next to future engineers, corporate leaders and startup founders. You will still be, in a lot of cases looking for part-time jobs, but trust me, I got my current job not because of the grades, but because of the doors my university opened for me. You're not paying $24,000 a year for just your books. You're paying for your new peer group and your future network that you're going to leverage all your life. So is moving to Canada a scam? No, not at all. It is one of the best decisions I personally made in my life. But in 2026, it's definitely a high stakes game. Here is the decision metric that I promised you for 2026. There are 3 paths to consider. Path 1, the specialist. You want to work in trades, healthcare, construction, definitely go to a college. But before that, check the eligibility of the course you're interested in at the government website or comment down below and I will provide you the link to do that. Path 2 is the professional. You want to work in a corporate environment, especially in tech or finance, definitely do not go to a college. Get your master's. It is the safest and the best bet for your long-term financial and immigration needs. Path 3 is the budget player who cannot afford a master's right now and doesn't want to work in trades. Then don't worry, but do not come to Canada yet. There are so many other options. Save your money, choose any other country that caters to your particular needs in 2026, but definitely avoid Canada because your ROI is going to be negative. So if you're a student or a newcomer or somebody just ambitious enough who wants to build their career here in Canada, you're in the right place. In 2026, I'm trying to build the best community for all of us out there so that we can help each other and survive this market and grow together and become financially independent. Hit the subscribe button to join the community and show your support, and see you all in the next one.